Good morning everybody. Really looking forward to showing you how to complete today's square. We're going to do the chessboard square as part of our 365-day Granny Square a Day Crochet Along project. So to start out this square, I've just done a chain of 22 stitches with my first colour. We will need two colours to get the checkerboard pattern in this square. So foundation chain of 22 stitches. Continuing with that colour, I'm going to do a double crochet into the fourth chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3 and 4 with a double crochet, and I'm going to double crochet into the next 3 stitches as well. So there'll be 4 together. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we don't tie off, we're just going to add our second colour in. We're going to work with the two colours joined at once. So I'm going to get my second colour. I'm just going to put a little loop there and pull it through this stitch. And then I'm not going to worry about that little end, we can get that on the next row, but working over the top of the pink as well. So it's just being crocheted through this stitch. We're going to do 4 double crochet in the next colour. And 3. And 4. So we've done the 4. So we've got 8 stitches. Now we want to pick the pink up again, so I'm going to drop my green tail, pick up my pink, and just work that green thread through. So another 4 double crochet, 3 and 4. As I said, we're just crocheting over the top of the other colour, so it's at the end where we need it. We're not going to have any pulls in our square, it's all going to sit nicely when we're finished, because we know that there's enough wool there to space it out properly. So I've done 4 of the pink. Now I want to pick up my green again. I always find when I'm working with a couple of colours, I spend a lot of time moving my balls of wool around, but it does stop tangles. So I've picked the green back up, and I'll do another 4 double crochet. I'm going to continue this way all the way to the end, changing colour every 4 stitches. And 4, and it's going to be the same way for the entire square. At the end of the row, we'll do a chain 3 to start the next one. but that's just to maintain our colours. So I'm into the last 4 of this row. and I've miscounted a loop somewhere, so I'm just going to make sure I have my green in there. Otherwise it's not gonna look very nice from the back. And do the last 4 double crochet. Now I like the color changes to be quite square, so we're going to double up our stitch count for each section on the next row. 3, and our 4th and final double crochet. Alright, so I'll show you what I mean. I want my checkerboard to have nice squares rather than rectangles. They're quite rectangular at the moment because they are wider than they are tall. So we're going to do a chain of 3. Going to turn our work. Let's move my balls of wool again. I'm going to turn our work, and the colour in the previous row is pink. I'm going to do pink stitches again. We've done a chain of 3, so we only need to do 3 more of them. I got myself in a tangle. Making sure we're working over that green. The tail loop there isn't going to be a problem because we are going to be edging this square after we've gotten all of the rows completed. So we've done our chain of 3 to serve as the first double crochet. And we're going to do 3 more. Working over the green still, and there's our 4th, and we just change colours again as we did on the previous row. To green with 4 double crochet, and I've dropped my pink loop in the back. So we want to make sure we're working over that so that it doesn't make a mess. Then 4 double crochet. 2, 3, and 4. So we are going to turn on each row. But you can see how the pattern's developing and how it's all going to end up as squares. Good morning, guys. Here to show you how to complete the checkerboard square as part of our 365 Greening Square a Day Crochet Along project. Really striking square, very effective, super easy to work up. The first thing that we do is choose 2 colours because obviously we'll need 2 to get the checkerboard effect. Do a foundation chain of 22 stitches. Then we're going to start working back into that 4th chain from the hook with a double crochet. Double crochet, and we're going to do 3 more into the next 3 stitches. Okay, so with our chain of 3, our 3 stitches, we have 4 double crochets. We need to get that checkerboard effect, so I'm just going to loop on this piece of green. I'm going to cooperate. So I'm going to just make a loop and put my second colour over the hook. So we're not going to be working the pink anymore. We've attached it there. We're just going to work it like a standard double crochet from here. The only thing to be wary of is you want to make sure that your second colour, the colour that you're not hooking, stays in your stitch so that it's concealed, stays nice and tidy, and isn't going to make pulls anywhere on our project. Now don't worry about the tail, we can crochet that in on the next round. So I'm going to do 4 double crochet into the next 4 stitches, being mindful to keep my original first colour in the center of my stitches so we can pick it up at the end of these 4. So there's 3. And 4. We're going to change it over exactly the same way, except obviously our yarn's already attached. So I've got the green loop. I'm going to go around with the pink, putting our green onto the chain so I can catch it and hook around it, and just double crochet into the next 4 stitches so that we can get that nice colour variation. Alright, keep going to the end. I'll meet you back here in a moment. Okay guys, I've worked all the way down the chain, alternating colours. You can see I've continued to crochet along over the top of whatever colour I'm not using. So at the end we're going to chain 3. Turn our work over. Now we're going to pull the pink up. It doesn't really matter which way you go because we are going to be edging this square once we've completed the pattern, but I want nice square colour sections, and they're rectangular at the moment, so a second row of stitches in the same colour over the top is going to make them nice and square. Our chain of 3 serves as our first double crochet, so I'm going to complete another 3 and then go back to the pink. So we're going to be doubling up the colour to make our sections nice and square. So there's 4, and time for our colour change back to pink. But you can see, excluding that little pink loopy that's there, it's a much squarer section. So we're going to change over to pink, or whatever your colour should be, making sure we are working over the colour we're not hooking. So we're keeping those ends nice and tidy until we pick them up again. And another 4 double crochet. And 4, and we're going to change over to green so we can get that nice square effect again. You can see a little better now I've worked 2 colours. They're looking a lot squarer, and everything's going to pull in nice and tightly. So we're going to put the pink down near the stitches. I've moved my balls of wool to keep them from tangling together. So we're keeping the pink down here. We're working our 4 green double crochets over the top of it. So it's in the center of our stitches. We can still pull it if it's loose or bubbling on the other side. and we can just pick it up when we're ready to work on the next square. 2, 3, and 4. We continue doing this for pretty much the entire square until we're doing our edging. So that is a total of 7 to 8 rows, depending, 9 to 10 rows, and then we do our finishing round. But you can see how much squarer they look doubled up. So obviously on the next row, where we're working into a green, we're going to use the pink. Working into the pink, we're going to have a green, so we get that nice checkerboard effect. So you've got another 8 rows once you've completed this one. I'll meet you back here to show you how to do the finishing round. Okay, we're back. I've finished all my rows. Now, because I crochet so tightly, I've had to add an extra row on, so I've done 12 instead of 10. Most of you will probably be fine with the 10, but if you do find that you've got a rectangle instead of a square, you're probably a tight crocheter like me, and you can always add an extra row on. Now we're going to do the first finishing round. So I've just joined into the top of one of the double crochets with a slip stitch. I'm going to single crochet into every double crochet around the entire square. Single crochet, not a double. Now I'll work around the corner and down the first chain space, because we have chain spaces down the sides where we've gone to the next row and turned. So we'll keep going. Now corners are just 2 single crochet. I hope you can all see properly there. So 2 single crochet to make the corner, and we're going to go down the side, so working into the stitch, and I'm just going to crochet over my ends here. So we're coming up to a chain space. We're going to do 2 single crochet in there to fill that space evenly with the rest of our square. So this first round is just to fill in the spaces and get all of our spacing correct. Continue all the way around. 2 single crochets in the chain spaces and 2 single crochets in the corners. A slip stitch to join back to the start, and I'll see you back here so we can do the finishing round 2. Okay guys, I'm back. I've finished doing single crochet all the way around our square. So I've chosen to go in with a different colour. You could of course go in with one of the colours that you've used to make your pattern in the centre of the square. Doing the 2 finishing rounds, you can use the same colour for both, or you can tie off and have both of these colours framing the square as well. It's the same as the previous round, so we're just going to go around. I've done a single chain to bring myself up to the next row, and it's just single crochet all the way around with 2 single crochets together to make the corner. So really striking. Mine is a little hyper coloured with the pink and green, but it's a great way to show how striking the colour variation can be. The only thing that I would be careful of when choosing my colours. You can see that the green is significantly lighter, so the pink is showing through in some of the stitches. The lighter the